Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I will be opening up, unboxing the 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Birthright campaign setting. This is something that I've been hoping to get my hands on for a very, very long time. Didn't honestly think it was ever going to happen, but I saw a post on Facebook from Strange Adventures, which is a comics and game shop in Halifax, that somebody had traded a bunch of AD&D 2nd edition stuff in. There were some other really cool books as well, so if you live in the area, they had some of the complete books for, I think it was like Fighters, Rogues, they had the complete Psionics book there for 2nd edition AD&D. They had a 2nd edition Dungeon Master's Guide, a Player's Handbook, so they had some really, really cool stuff there, but at the time that I was able to pick this up, this was really the only thing that I could afford, but of all those things, this is the product that I wanted the most. This is apparently complete except for a paper, like a folded paper craft sort of like box that you can fold up and turn into a storage box for some cards that are included inside here. I'm not too worried about that. It would be cool to have, but I'm not too worried about it. So let's just have a look and see what we got here. Alright, so let's just go ahead and we'll read the back here. So it says, a king stands in a high turret of his castle, squinting at the distant hills. He can just make out the figures of his troops engaging the enemy in battle. As a damp breeze whips at his cloak, he contemplates the war. He has called the best generals, captains, and troops from his land. His court wizard wields powers that unnerve even the most seasoned warriors. Can the forces he commands hold the enemy at bay? Or will the king awake at dawn to the pounding of battering rams and showers of deadly arrows? From the tower the battle is impossible to judge. The ruler twists the royal signet ring on his finger nervously. Then a ragged messenger races up the stairs behind him, clutching a stained parchment. Word from the general, your majesty, he pants, and the king takes a message in trembling fingers and slowly reads. So this says, experience the thrill of playing rulers of legend who command mighty armies and wield the power of kingdoms. The Birthright campaign setting for the AD&D game makes this possible as never before. Roleplay warriors, wizards, priests, and thieves descended from royal bloodlines, command imperial powers, and control the destinies of far-reaching lands. But be prepared to battle enemies who are equally as powerful, as well as millennia-old monstrous abominations that will stop at nothing to steal your kingly power. Are you up to the challenge of deciding the fate of a continent? The crown and scepter can be yours. So inside this box, all in full color, you will find the Atlas of Cyrilia, 32 pages detailing the history and features of the continent, the Birthright rulebook, which is 96 pages of information on royal-blooded characters governing kingdoms and the Cyrillian pantheon, the Ruins of Empire book, 96 pages describing kingdoms waiting to be conquered, 2 poster maps illustrating the lands of Cyrilia, a battle mat, and 112 war cards for resolving all types of military clashes, plus a custom-designed war chest restoring the cards, which again we don't have, a 4-panel DM screen specifically for Birthright campaigns, and 12 card sheets packed with handy reference material and descriptions of major enemies. So pretty cool stuff. This released in 1995, retailed at $30 US, $42 Canadian, so I already got this for less than half of the retail price, which is pretty cool. And this is back when TSR was still TSR, so this is before Wizards of the Coast had actually purchased them, so pretty cool stuff there. So let's just go ahead and open this up. They did put it in this protective bag, which is pretty cool, and I will be keeping the bag and using it for this particular box set. Just slide that off there. We'll just set that aside. Alright, so let's open up this box and see what we got here. So the box itself is actually, it's in pretty good shape, except for, there's a little bit of crush damage here, but that's still not bad at all. I will take that. And here looks like we've got the cards. So let's just go ahead. I'm not going to go through every single last one, but let's just go ahead and look at some of these here. And it looks like they were on sheets because you can see where they were ripped out, or not ripped out, but punched out, I guess I should say. Alright, so we got mercenary irregulars, and I'm not sure what those numbers mean at this point in time, but still pretty cool. And we got this battle card, which again, a lot of this stuff means very little to me at this point in time, but we'll just go through here. So we got some more irregulars, infantry. There's just nice little art on there. Archers. So like I said, we're not going to go through everything right now. That's another battle card. Pre-spells. So it's kind of interesting. Anyway, it's pretty cool stuff. I might show the cards off in more detail at a later point if people are interested, but there's a whole bunch of those in there. Let's just get this back into this handy dandy plastic Ziploc bag, which is filling in for the war chest. And here we have the Birthright rulebook. Just really cool stuff. And again, just I like the art style in here too, actually. I just like the way that the pages sort of have that watercolor background. It's actually really cool. Something that you don't really see a lot anymore. You typically just have like the sort of like the tannish colored background in a lot of books, or white. But just nice little art in here. So it'd be cool to go through and read through the rule book. And then we've got the Ruins of Empire. So these would be the locations that have yet to be quote-unquote conquered. Northern Marches. Cool stuff there. Then we have the Atlas of Cerelia, which is, I guess, the continent this takes place on. Oh, is that a Drider? Yeah, it looks like a Drider. Again, just some really nice art in here. Just kind of a cool art style, I guess, or just a cool presentation of the book. Up next, I'll just move this over. So we got these posters. And just because it's summer and it's way too hot out to not have anything handy, I do have a glass of water on the table next to me, so we'll just sort of show this sort of section by section. Pretty cool stuff. We got some of the nations defined a little bit better there, and then we just have it. It's only single-sided, so the other side is just white. Then we've got the other map here as well. Along with the calendar, which I'm assuming probably will play some sort of significance. So again, I can also show the maps in greater detail at a later time. Alright. So it looks like we got, so this is our battle mat, and it looks like you lay your cards out. So you probably use those cards as like units and stuff, and you lay them out, because I saw that some of them had numbers that were facing the opposite direction of all the other text. So those are probably like attack and defense information, I would assume. But you just have, again, like the map that you make up of like this battlefield. Pretty cool stuff. Again, looking forward to reading all this and seeing exactly how this all works. Alright, and then we've got just these other cards here. So this is Robe Manslayer. So looks like an elf. So this is presented like just the monster manual stats. This is I assume, yeah, he's an individual. So I don't know why they give him like the number appearing entry, because he's supposed to be a unique individual, but still pretty cool. So we got that, and on the back is, it looks like his sort of backstory and information, including the ecology. So that's pretty cool. Then we've got the continent of Cerelia. So this is sort of just a broader, less detailed, obviously, map, but that's still pretty cool. And on the back is the player's domain tracking. So that's kind of neat as well. Just some cool stuff here. Cerulean languages, Cerulean names. This card, if I ever were to run this, would get a lot of use. We got Orogs. I wonder if this is still like the version of I know nowadays Orogs are like a half orc, half ogre. I don't know if it necessarily specifies it there, but that's still pretty cool. And then we just got the Cerulean Goblin on the back, the Sea Drake, and its lore, the Gorgon, and its lore, the Cerulean Giants. We have Forest and Ice Giants, shows the forest one there. Oh, and the Dragon Cerulean. Domain turn summary, not quite sure what that means yet. Master list of actions, so that's probably stuff for combat. Weapons and armor of the Cerulean races. So that's pretty cool. Domain record sheet. And then a domain map, so you can actually draw out the map of your location. So the spider, who's sort of our Drider looking guy. And I think it's more or less similar but different. And this is another unique individual. And then we have the domain record sheet. And I think that this is an example of it filled out, but I think it's filled out like on purpose. Like it's not. I don't think this is someone who filled it out after the fact. I think that this was the way that it was supposed to look, because the ink doesn't look. I'll have to look into that. It doesn't look like it's pretty neat, I'd say, for handwriting. I almost think that this was the way that they had this sort of as an example of one. I can't remember if we... Yeah, because we've got the blank one here. So I think that's just an example of how one would look filled in with the map on the other side. But that's still pretty awesome stuff. And then we've got the DM screen. Let's just go ahead and so look at the art. And again, I kind of have to, I can't lay this out in full right now, but nice battlefield scene there, pretty cool looking stuff. It continues there, and then we just have the Birthright logo there. And then we have encounter reactions, turning undead, punching and wrestling results. So it looks like some pretty standard stuff here. Calculated Thakos, creature Thakos, great stuff for 2nd edition. Saving throws, armor class ratings, and then we've got the domain specific stuff that's like, I guess, based off the land that you own. So the first half of the screen is generic information that could be applied to any AD&D game, and then we've got the stuff that's specific to the Birthright campaign setting here. So you got domain turn sequence of play, which again I'll have to read more about to see how that works. Classes and regency, domain turn random events, responses to random events, just the logo there. good old province taxation, guild and temple collection, domain maintenance costs, court costs, then the master list of actions, loyalty grade adjustments, new Cerulean weapons, law holdings and loyalty, barred actions for resource or for sources, and terrain movement costs. So again, just really, really awesome stuff. So yeah, it basically it has everything except for that that box. But I'm not worried about it. I'm really not, because this is the stuff that I'm more concerned with, is having all the books, all the necessary cards, the maps, and the included Dungeon Master screen is just pretty awesome. So really, really happy to have this. So in the comments below, let me know, have you ever played the Birthright campaign setting? Have you ever run like campaigns in it? Have you ever run adventures? Did you ever just cherry pick information from the Birthright campaign setting to use in your own homebrews? If basically I'm hoping that people can sort of help educate me a little bit before I get a chance to really sit down and read this stuff, because the next few months are going to be kind of loaded in terms of the things that are coming out. So any help that any one of you can give to how the Birthright setting really worked, I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Take care.